I'm here. The most anticipated debut of all time. And I'm here. And today, I thought what I would do is I would dig into the meat and potatoes or the bottom of the barrel of the UFC. And I thought I would see who the biggest up and comers are, what prospects are on the rise, in my opinion, who the best prospects are. Thought I'd throw my 2 cents in, thought I'd use my widespread influence with my 9 whole subscribers and help these guys out a little bit, okay? Okay, so first, some ground rules have to be set, okay? So first of all, none of these guys can be over the age of 30. I want no guys that are about to take TRT. I want no guys with grey hairs. I want young prospects or people who are about to have a long period of time in the UFC and long careers. And the next thing is, okay, none of these guys can be in the top 10 of their division. Why? Because that's boring, that's shit, okay? Otherwise, it'd just be Diego Lopez, Shavkat, JDM, and that's boring, okay? That's boring, that's easy, I don't want to do that. But anyway, without further ado, at number 8, the 8th best prospect in MMA, picked by Jack Cott, MMA, it's Michael Morales. So listen, yeah, this guy, 16-0, 11 wins by knockout. So this guy possesses power and he's got lengthy reach. He's relatively tall for the welterweight division. He has a very long, rangy type of striking style. But the only problem I have with this guy is he's well too comfortable being on the back foot. But in his next fight, he's fighting boom gatekeeper Neil Magny. I think he's gonna get past him. If he doesn't, then we're finished. It's done. Give up. You ain't gonna be anything. But he's only 25. You know what I mean? 25 years of age. Already he's kind of just outside that top 15 range. And I think at the very worst, that's where he stays throughout his career. But I think being so young, I think being so skilled, because he is very skilled, he's got very nice striking. And he uses his reach really well. I think he can at least get to the top 10, at the very least. But anyway, next up at number 7. You said my keyboard press. Salty man Joe Pyfer, okay? So when this guy isn't angry at the world or isn't upset at people for existing, he's actually pretty good. He's got great power, he's got great boxing, and he's in a relatively shit division. So it's a lot easier for him than it should be. He's just above average height for a middleweight. His reach is just average. But he's only 27 years of age, so he's got plenty of time. Like I said, he's got that power. Now, he did get beat not too long ago by Jack Hermansson, but Jack Hermansson's good. Jack Hermansson's the best gatekeeper that you can find, aside from Max Holloway from like 2020 to 2022. And I think the worst that Joe Pyfer ends up is as a fringe top 10 guy, which he's kind of at now. I think at the very worst, he's in that 14 to 11 type of range, because he's always going to have that power that can kind of carry him, even if the skills aren't, all there. But I think he'll at least get top 8 because he's in a shit division as well. So the opportunities are there, okay? Like, if he doesn't get there, then it's entirely his own fault. The number 6 best prospect in MMA, in my humble expert coaching opinion, is Ludovic Klein. Now, this guy's just on the right side of being 29 years of age. He is a midget. He's slightly undersized for a lightweight, being 5'7", 72.5 inches of reach, but he's very skilled. He's got insane fight IQ, which he showed against AJ Cunningham. He brings forward pressure with great boxing. And he's got hella experience for someone his age. 22, 4-1. He has 27 fights at the age of 29. If I could compare him to anyone, it'd be a shitter Volkanovski. He's a very stocky guy, very strong guy, very explosive guy, very athletic guy. And like I said, when he has that fight IQ, it all comes together to make a really good fighter. Who at worst, I see him being in that 8 to 6 type of range. I think he'll at least get there. And then at the very worst, if things don't work out, I think he'll at least smidge himself into the top 10 picture. But at number 5, we've got Mauricio Ruffi. Now, people compare this guy to Conor McGregor, right? First of all, that's stupid. You're dumb. You're stupid, okay? This guy is murdering himself to get to lightweight, right? I understand the style comparison, okay? But listen, there's levels to this, okay? There's levels to this. People forget, man. Now, the only problem with this guy, he's only had one fight in the UFC, so there's not a lot to go off. But if you purely go off what we saw on the regional scene and in his one UFC fight, the talent is clearly there. Now, he's 5'11", a lightweight, so very tall. And in that sense, you could compare him to Conor, because Conor was very tall for a featherweight. He's 28 years of age. He doesn't have many fights. He's 10-1, but the talent is clearly there. Like I said, very long, very rangy, great counter striking, great left hand. He's also tricky. He's weird. He's unpredictable. You don't know what he's gonna do. He's got the element of surprise. And at very worst, I think he can get in the top 10. Now he's in a very hard division, being a lightweight. But like I said before, talent is clearly there. Skills clearly there. Great counter striking. Everything's there to get him to the highest level. So if all things go right, this guy could maybe squeeze in the top 5 if he's lucky. But we'll see. But anyway, now we got number 4. Boring bot, bitch boy, Bo Nickel. I hate this guy. This guy's so inactive. Takes 0 damage against a can, right? And then doesn't fight for 6 to 8 months. Boom. But anyway, the talent and the skill, you can't deny. It's clearly there. Insane wrestling. 28 years of age, even though by his next fight he'll be 29, and the fight after that he'll be 30 and then 31, and by the time he gets to a belt he'll be 33 years of age. But I like what the UFC's doing with this guy. A lot of people kicking off saying he's getting fed bums, getting fed cans and all that, but that's what they should be doing with a guy who they signed when he was 2-3-0, okay? People complain about the UFC rush stars up too quick, and then complain when Bo Nickel is getting fed gradually harder opponents, but still quite easy. That's the right thing. That's what he should be doing with this guy, okay? He also has, from what we saw, at least decent boxing. I mean, he knocked out Val Woodburn. Who really is Val Woodburn? Nothing really, but you know, he still knocked him out. He did exactly what he should have done to the guy. And I think Bo Nickel, with his wrestling, with his at least, at worst, decent boxing, can get to the top 5 and maybe even a title shot with Dana White privilege, okay? And at the very worst, top 10, because he is in a shit division. He's a middleweight. His division sucks dick, okay? Now, if we're speaking welterweight, I don't think I'd have as high expectations for him. There's a lot of wrestlers in welterweight, but he's not welterweight. He's a middleweight. And he's going to get fed reasonable matchups that suit him well, because the UFC are trying to push him, even though the personality is lacking severely. But, you know, the UFC is the UFC. Dana White's Dana White. They're all stupid, okay? Hire me. I will save your company. But anyway, at number 3, apparently we've got Michael Morales again. Now listen here, this guy is different. 8-fight win streak and no one talks about it, okay? And I'm sick of it. He's on an 8-fight win streak, no one talks about it. Now listen, are they against cans? Yes. They're against complete, no, not complete, but they're against relatively low-level competition. But the fact is, man, everyone's bigging up Shara Bullet, right? The guy who Shara Bullet just took to a decision, Michelle Pereira took out in a minute. Okay, there's levels to this. This is the real Shara Bullet. This is the real prospect of middleweight that you should be looking out for. Now, he's the oldest guy on this list, being 30 years of age. But he just about squeezes in, and he has a crazy amount of experience. This guy's 42 fights, okay? A lot of losses on there, sure. But the guy's got better, okay? Getting better exists. But listen, man, this guy's different. This guy is so unpredictable, he's so powerful, the submission game's there, well-rounded, you don't know what he's going to do, the element of surprise, he's fast, his cardio's got a lot better from back in the day. There's not a single thing that this guy lacks, except for maybe at the very top, his explosiveness, his unpredictable nature can be used against him by the very, very, very top guys. But I think this guy could potentially get a title shot, man. Okay. It's a guy the UFC should be trying to push, even though they're not. Okay, they're giving him Fluffy Hernandez, who is obviously good, but it's a matchup that isn't exactly favourable. It doesn't really get him much when he wins. They're around about the same in the rankings. And it's just shit. It's kind of a waste of time, realistically. So the UFC should be pushing this guy. But I think all the skills are there to maybe get a title shot. Who knows? And at worst, he's top 10 quality, 100%. Now at number 2, my number 2 guy, and everyone else is number 1 guy, we got Peyton Talbot. Now listen, this guy's dick gets so constantly 24/7. But like everyone says about this guy, extremely composed, extremely calm. He's just chill. He takes his time, even though he just knocked the guy out in 20 seconds. But he doesn't load up on anything. He doesn't do anything stupid. He does everything perfect. He's an extremely smart fighter. And only 25 years of age. And he's not even that experienced. Like, he's this composed. And he only has 9 fights. Okay? Now, obviously, this guy's going to get pushed by the UFC, so that makes it easier for him to get up there and potentially get a belt. But either way, even if the UFC didn't push him, I still think the skills are there. And I think he'll at least get top 5 at the worst, because there's certain guys that you look at when you just know the intelligence and the composure and the skill is there, and you know they're at least going to be really good. If they don't ever become a champion, they're going to at least be really good. Listen, there's one guy Peyton Talbot reminds me of, just in like frame and stance, is Benson Henderson. I don't know why. I cannot give you a reason why for that, but he just does. But listen, man, this guy's glazed for a reason, okay? But he ain't the best. He ain't the best, okay? The real best is the boy, Silva. Okay, this guy is gonna fight for a belt. This guy's gonna headline the pay-per-view. I ain't hearing nothing about it. Very short, stubby arms. He's 5'7". He's a midget, but all the power's there. All the speed is there. He's so athletic, okay? Listen, he just fought Drew Dober. He battered him for 3 rounds, right? And Drew Dober's upper weight class, and Drew Dober is maybe the best guy in the lightweight rankings outside of the top 15. G Silver's different, man. This guy's going to headline a pay-per-view at some point in time. He's going to be champion. This is my bet. Lock it in. Lock it in, because he's locked in, okay? 27 years of age, so he's got plenty of time. 14-2. I don't know who beat him, right? He can go between divisions. He's going to be a double champ. Everything's there, man. G Silver's the next big thing. I'm telling you this. Lock it in, okay? But anyway, that's the yap session over, okay? This is the first time I've done this, and I think I did alright. I think I did. The highly anticipated debut, Y2K, the new millennium. I'm the new dog in the yard. I was pissed all over this cage, okay? Frost!